Super rainy day down at the shed. So I'm inside. I've got a brand new gun, the AirMaks Katran NX, and I wanted to show you guys this case because I just picked this up and I think it's pretty cool. I've got it sitting on top of a Harbor Freight case. The one on the bottom is about 170 bucks at Harbor Freight, but this guy right here is a Vevor, and if you watch this channel, you know we like Vevor. They basically have every single item you could ever want on their website in terms of tools and just stuff around the house, but they also have gun safes and gun cases, and this is one of theirs. So I've got it in comparison to the one for Harbor Freight. These go for, I think it was like $137.99, and the Harbor Freight crate on the bottom goes for $169, but you can usually get it with a coupon at Harbor Freight. So they're kind of around the same prices, but my preference is going to be the Vevor here. And let's take a look at the both of them together. We can see the Harbor Freight is a little bit bigger. Let me try to even them up here a little bit. So it's a little bit bigger, not in length, but in height. So other than that, the cases all have the same features, and Vevor is lighter weight and cheaper. Little comparison to the more expensive Harbor Freight Apache case. It's about the same thing, you guys. It's just a little bit shorter. That is it. But essentially the same thing for much less and lighter. We're going to take a closer look at some of the features here, and since they both have the same, we'll just look at the Vevor. All right, so looking at this case real quick, it's got super heavy duty handles with metal centers in there, so very hardcore. You've got lock holes, 2 of them right there, and also I did say that these were the same, but actually the Vevor has 2 more buckles, so there's one on either end, but there's a carry handle there, and that is because this thing has wheels, so you can roll this thing, which is really nice. So let's open it up and we'll see what's inside. We've got a manual. We've got your pluckable foam right here. So see if I can get a good shot of that. That's pluckable. You can basically take your gun, trace it on here with like a marker, and then just start plucking that out. So it does a lot of the work for you. And then the bottom is also nice and foamed up, as well as the top with the eggshell. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take that gun and I'm going to set it down on there, trace it, and then we'll put that gun in that case because that's going to be my new backup competition gun, and we'll see how I like it as I go through testing. But it's a very long gun and it should fit in that case. So what I'll do is I'll trace all around this with this marker, and I'll have plucked it for the gun, and that's how I'm going to carry this gun in that case, and it fits perfectly. The only thing I had to do was remove that moderator because it's going to be a little bit too long, but I'll just pluck a couple holes there for that moderator. After that, we should be able to pluck a few more holes there for pellets and other accessories and things like that. So let's get to it. Just basically nothing fancy, just tracing around the gun like this. I like to go around a couple times just to make sure I have a decent outline of it as you're swapping that marker in and out. But basically just something like this, and I've got that mostly done. So if I remove the gun, I should have a good imprint of it. All right, good. So I just got to break out the foam to that, and I should be good to go. And if you do it all in one piece, you might have a gun-shaped cutout. It actually turned out I did not need a knife at all. I just simply used the cutouts, and the gun-shaped cutout and all of those, that's all I removed. And I've got 2 tins of pellets in there. I've got an extra magazine. I've got my suppressor up front. But to me, this looks pretty good. And the case itself is very, very hardcore and rugged. Yeah, it's a day later. Much better weather, but I failed to mention something before, and I wanted to make sure I mentioned it. So this thing does have an O-ring seal over the whole lid that seals up against that. So it is a waterproof case, and it does have a little knob right there to seal it, which is pretty cool. So yes, the Vevor case is indeed waterproof as well. And I will add one more piece of knowledge. When you're cutting this thing up, or perhaps you want to glue your now cut and plucked foam back in there, there's this glue called E6000, and it is hands down the best stuff to use on foam. I used it for years and years when I was a competitive paintball player for gluing the foams back into goggles, and it will last forever. So that stuff is, it's basically shoe glue, but that stuff is super hardcore. I'll leave a link in the description and comments for that, but definitely pick up some E6000, and I would highly recommend this case. It's lighter than the Harbor Freight version. It's still got the wheels on it. You can roll it around, and it's going to protect your gun indefinitely. I mean, you could chuck your gun down a flight of stairs with this thing, and it's going to be just fine. So highly recommended. Thanks for checking out the little mini video here, guys, and we'll catch you on the next one. Have a great weekend. Peace.